music friends, this is your friendly neighborhood music reviewer, and it is Thursday, so it's time for a Throwback Thursday review. Already the second one, whoa! I'm really starting something here. And I was thinking, which album shall I do? And at a certain point it hit me. Let's do this one. I already took out the booklet, here I have the CD. Embrace the Storm by Stream of Passion, released in 2005. Which is already 9 years ago. And it's nice to go back to that time because very recently Stream of Passion released their fourth album, A War of Our Own. And they did that after a very successful crowdfunding campaign to fund the album, which is really cool to see that this band is still going strong and still making amazing music. But it's also nice to look at how this band started, and because this has a really interesting beginning. And that beginning goes back to the time when Arjen Lucassen started to work on The Human Equation. And he did a sort of a contest to find a guest singer for that album. And there was this Mexican band called Elfonia, and they were a bit of a fan of Arjen, so they sent in their debut album to see if their singer, Marcel Bovio, would have a chance to become a singer on that new Arjen album. Well, I would almost say no contest, because she impressed Arjen with her vocals and she was invited to play a part on The Human Equation. After that, it felt so good working with her that Arjen wanted to do more, and he wanted to make an album with her. So they started working on a concept, they started looking for other musicians. They found Alejandro Milan, who was the keyboard player, piano player from Elfonia. He was also interested in joining in. Laurie Lindstruth, back then still living in Sweden, joined in on guitars, and from Holland they found Johan van Stratum and Davy Mikkers, respectively bass and drums. So they had quite an international band. They communicated a lot through the internet to exchange ideas for the songs, lyrics, and also the recordings. So they recorded it in different countries, and Arjen put it all together, and it became this beautiful album. And Elfonia had a really amazing sound. I mean, you have a lot of female-fronted metal bands, you have a lot of female-fronted for these gothic bands, but often, they all start to sound the same a little bit. But not with Stream of Passion. The main reason is the idea behind this music. First of all, they did not use any synthesizers, they only use piano in the music. So that gives it already a different sound. Of course, Marcel Bovio has a really beautiful voice, that also helped a lot. And Marcella also plays violin on the album, so that also gives it a really unique sound. This album has truly a unique sound that you will never hear in any other band on this planet. And even if you look at the later Stream of Passion albums, you still hear a different sound than what they had on their first album. I really love the songs on this album because they are sounding very mysterious, sometimes really heavy. They have a lot of heavy riffs in it, but also, these beautiful piano sounds give it sometimes a bit of a ghost-like touch to the music, but there are also some really fragile, delicate ballads on it. There's a nice song even in Spanish, which is just piano and vocals, Nostalgia. But there are also some more catchy, I would almost say some lighter songs on the album. For example, songs like Wherever You Are or Out in the Real World, which is one of my favorite tracks, which is really, happy kind of feeling song. Haunted is definitely one of the more, mysterious songs, a bit of a ghost-like idea behind that music. So they really brought something special. And also, you have a lot of bands that, there are these musicians that start up a sort of a side project, but they play an important role. But in Stream of Passion, Arjen wrote the music, Arjen brought everyone together. And of course he did a lot of work in the production of the album, but apart from that he really stepped back and he really pushed these other musicians to the foreground and to really let them shine. For example, if you listen to the guitars, all the guitars, the lead guitars, the solos and everything, they are done by Laurie Lindstruth, not by Arjen. He does also play some guitars in it, but more the rhythm guitars and more in the background. Listen to, for example, a track like Haunted, but throughout the album, Laurie Lindstruth is a fantastic guitar player. when they started to perform this album, I had a chance to see them because they played here in Eindhoven. I had a chat with Laurie, and that was one of the very first shows they did. And she was really nervous, I remember that. But when the band started playing, the show was fantastic. I mean, they even did a tour with Stream of Passion. They played festivals, they played on a lot of places. They recorded a live album, they recorded a live DVD there. So this is a really fantastic album with a really unique sound. And now I have this in my hand, and as you can see, that is the dual disc label, sign, whatever. Because this album was released in several formats, and well, I have this one because you have the CD side and you have the DVD side, which is cool because the DVD side has the entire album in a 5.1 surround mix, which is basically, as far as I remember, one of the only two albums that Arjen released in 5.1. He also did the revisited Actual Fantasy album in 5.1, but apart from that, you know, only a few songs here and there, but nothing more, which is a bit of a shame because, well, it is a fantastic musician and makes really amazing music, and that would sound perfectly in 5.1. But it's really cool that they have this one in that format. They also had a format with a bonus DVD, but that just had a couple of clips and a couple of songs. You know, the dual disc format was the only one that had the entire album in 5.1. That is the reason why I kept this one and I sold the other one. But then after this album, something happened, something changed, and that is something that, well, was very important for this band, because after the tour, Arjen Lucassen announced that he stepped out of Stream of Passion. And not just him, because, well, in a very short time, a lot of original members left the band. In the end, basically, Marcel Bovio and Johan van Stratum remained. Of course, they gathered other musicians around them and they kept on going. And as I said, they already have their 4th studio album out, which is really amazing that they still keep on going. But it also shows that Marcel Bovio is not just a great lyricist, because she did all the lyrics on this album, but she's also a great songwriter. And the band, it had always been the intention of Arjen to step out after the first album, you know, to give the band a face of their own and not constantly keep him as the center point, because that was never his intention. And I say that shows not just what an amazing musician Arjen Lucassen is, but also what a humble musician is, that he can give other great talents a spot of their own. And the band Stream of Passion, you know, as in the core, Johan van Stratum and Marcel Bovio, has proven to be a lasting band, you know, not just leaving the stage after this album. No, they are still going strong, which is very cool. So therefore I thought it was nice to revisit this album, Stream of Passion, Embrace the Storm. If you have it, I'd say, you know, give it a spin, listen to the album, enjoy how good it is. And of course, check out the newer albums by Stream of Passion, especially A War of Our Own, their brand new album. Alright, thank you for watching this Throwback Thursday review. I'll see you next Thursday, or at least I hope you will see me next Thursday with another Throwback Thursday review.